Oh, hi. Okay, sorry. I had already started. I'm laughing because I was told to put this in the frame, and so I feel like that's my book. So hello, I'm Elyse. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I am going to be answering some questions that you guys sent in, as well as signing these really, really cute little nameplates. So these nameplates go in the book. So the book is signed if you guys want to buy. Hi, oh my gosh, I can already see people. Amazing. Hi, guys. Yeah, if so, you can comment shop if you're on Facebook and seeing this on Facebook, or if you are in the TalkShopLive interface, there's like a little button that says shop. You can click that, and if you're on Facebook, it'll send you a direct message with information. And oh my gosh, just seeing people come in is really sweet. Yeah, my brain is all over the place. If you comment shop, you will get a DM about how to buy a book, or you can click shop. Okay, anyways, guys, how are you doing? I'm doing well. I have been so excited about this. I'm gonna kind of walk you a little bit through the book. I have questions here people asked, and your St. Louis tour date. I know the tours like went so quickly. Oh, my brother posted a video, so I was watching that. Sorry. Hi, Kyle, if you're watching this. Yeah, the tour sold out so fast, but stand by. We have more things coming, so just pause with that for a little bit. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Sydney. Athena, Tiffany. Oh my gosh, guys. Can I be really honest really quick? I get nervous when I do live streams. But I'm just going to decide that that's not real. So we're not nervous. We're excited. You know, like your brain can't tell the difference. It's like, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. My brain just can't tell the difference. That's what's happening right now. So, yes, amazing. Does anyone have any beverages that they're drinking? I have a coffee. I've got my water. I've got those are my beverages. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go through questions. So first of all, I wanted to show you that when you buy the signed copy, I don't think I showed you the nameplate. By the way, okay. Can we just for one moment, please? This is I designed the end pages of the book, and I'm going to take the cover off just for a second to show you. But this is my desk at work. I'm at my office right now. So we'll bring the cover back. But these are the end pages in the front and then the back. And it's supposed to you'll see some Easter eggs in there when you read the book. But I love that people are sending their beverages. It's amazing. I love you guys so much. My brain's gonna be all over the place, but we're gonna lock in at some point. And if we don't, we don't. So this is the office during the day, and then I really enjoy seeing these in color. I went through so many versions of this, seeing like it in black and white. And so when I saw it in color, I didn't like really think that it would be that different, you know, because you see it and I made the drawings. And so it's like, how different could it be? And then when I saw it all together, I was just like, oh my God, like I did it. We did it. I made a whole book. I did it. It's so fun. So yeah, that's really cool. And then also really quick, the little signed name, I think it's called a nameplate, bookplate, nameplate. So this is a drawing from the book, but it's like how to make a paper airplane. And then it says, that's a great question. I'd love to tell you. And then Elyse just sits here like this. And then like that. And then it gets put into, I think this page. I'm not 100% sure where they're going to end up putting it, but it makes sense that it would go here. And can we just really, one more second, just take a minute for these. Cute, right? I want that as like my personal stationery forever. Everyone is so kind in these comments. Honestly, my mouth is going dry because because I'm bad at public speaking, but I'm gonna have to get over that really fast because of the two words. Oh, can you tell me? Okay, how would I do this? I have been having a lot of conversations recently about how to pronounce the word tour. Oh my gosh, is Jonas in here? Hi, Jonas. I love that. And yeah, if you wanna buy a book, you can comment shop on Facebook, or you can click the little shop button below me on TalkShopLive. But I was talking about, how to say tour. If you say tour, like TORE, tour, give me a number 1 in the comments. If you do tour, give me a number 2. Because I've learned that it's like different coasts. So I talked to people doing this tour only in California, and oh my God, okay, lots of 1s. Now we're getting some 2s. So I had no idea until I was talking to someone and they were like, "What did you just say?" And I was like, "You get it. I feel like you get it. I didn't think we need to clarify that." But now I feel like I'm just trying to switch between the two so that I get roasted like half as much, but it really depends, I guess, where I am in the country, I'll say it. So anyways, that is my spiel on how to pronounce the word tour/tour. Can I show you one more thing too, actually? So the idea behind, like, and we'll get to the questions, I promise, but I wanted to kind of brag about my baby here for a minute. My idea was, like, when I shot the cover, which, here's the cover, I took this photo. This is a photo at, my friend would know what it's called. It's a apple orchard in New Jersey. Is anyone from New Jersey that can remind me of what Terhune? Is it Terhune? Terhune Orchards? Let's see. Terhune Orchards. But so I was with my friends doing apple picking, and I took this photo, and then when I thought, I was like looking to see what the cover was going to be, I was like, I want it to feel like you're in, not my childhood home, because I don't think we would want that, but I want it to feel like you're like, it's like nostalgic, you know? So like the 90s vibe of like this is basically exactly what my couch looked like when I was younger. And I love, by the way, that design aesthetic is like coming back around. So I wanted to like project this image that I took, but then in a living room setting. And then when you go to the, you open it, and then it's like the end papers of like my office, you're inside. And then when you go to the table of contents, we'll skip past this. The dedication, I'm going to leave that for you. You're going to cry. You might not, actually. It's probably only an Elyse thing. I wanted it to look like this. So I wanted it to feel like you were in someone's home. You know, like when old school, like you'd walk in and there'd be like that one hallway that people put all their like family photos on. I kind of wanted it to feel like that, but more just like this like gallery wall of stories, because like a lot of images are stories, within a picture. And so I was like, yeah, this is my gallery wall of my home. Welcome to my home. Come on in. And then, and I'll show you this last thing, and then I will answer questions. But when you keep going, then you're immediately ushered into like the first part of the book. And then it's the little door to California. It's cool, right? Which actually doesn't make sense because you're already inside, but then you're going inside again and you're going outside. Maybe you're going out, but it says welcome. You know what? It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. Because that's how it is. Okay. Thank you so much. I just am like really pumped. It's taken so much to not just like completely share every single page of this book with you guys, like every single time I've written something, because I make content, and I'm so used to like being in a team of like one person, right? Like I write, film, edit, post, comment, all of that, like myself. These buttons hitting my desk are going to bother me. And so I pretty much am used to that immediately, like quick cycle of how to like making something and then immediately putting it out and getting feedback from the world. So to write long form things in stories and then to hold them back and then to make like something beautiful out of them over like a long course of time and shape it and let those stories shape other stories and still get no feedback from the outside world, it's just you. And then to all of a sudden share it is like, well, let's hope for the best. It's pretty nerve wracking. And so I think that for anybody, really quick, this is a side note, but if for anybody that has ever wanted to write but felt like they couldn't for some reason, whether they have like ADHD or they are dyslexic, both of things I have, or thinking that like that's just not a goal that you're ever going to achieve because that seems too hard. I think you should just do it. I think you should do it. I think it has been the hardest and most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. It's definitely informed how I'm going to do everything else in the future creatively. It's given me incredible insight to who I am as a creative person, as well as who I am as a human being. Processing my life and in my brain is like the stories, just getting it onto paper and then editing it with people. I'm getting warm, so I'm going to take this off. I just had a whole runner of a joke in my head of like, it's not that kind of show, Elyse. It's like, okay, that's enough of that. But yeah, it has been, even if you don't publish the book, if you just like write it and have it for yourself, but I think you should publish your book. You can self-publish and whatever you want. It has been such an incredible experience for me. And so for anybody out there, sorry, this is a tangent, but for anybody out there that feels like a writer, but has been told that they're not a writer or has been counted out either by themselves or someone else, you are a writer. And I think you should write more. And that's my thing on that. And so I'm going to take a sip of coffee really quick and reset. And if you are just joining, you can comment shop and you will receive either on Facebook, you can receive a direct message on how to buy a signed copy of my book, or you can click the little shop button on TalkShopLive and it will send you to the right place. Okay. I love you too, Jonas. Mary's just said, I don't think anyone would be interested in reading anything I have to write. I'm reading this right now and I'm very interested. So you're already incorrect. I'm going to cross that self-doubt off the list. Boom, done. Okay, we're going to answer some questions. Were you able to get other dates or venues in Omaha for the book releases? Can I say this? Yeah, yes. I will get back to you on the actual information on that because we're finalizing it and it will be very soon that I get to say that. But yes. Okay, great. I'm really excited about that. Someone said, is there a story about being recognized in public for the first time? Oh my gosh. Okay. Elyse, what about Oklahoma? Guys, I cannot even tell you. If I had the time, I would go to like every single state. Question, how far away is Oklahoma from Omaha? Would that be a possible drive? This is a genuine question. Is that a possible drive? Let's Google it. Distance, it's probably far. No, yeah, that's far. Wait, let's see. Distance from Omaha to Omaha. That's a long drive. 7 hours. Okay, guys. Oh my gosh. I would just want to sit here and be like, yep, let's do them all. Let's do all the states. We're going to do one tour and then we're going to go on another tour one day, not so far in advance, but I don't have plans for another tour is what I'm saying. I need to stop talking. I'm going to say things I shouldn't say. Okay. The question was, is there a story about being recognized in public? So the first time, it happened very slowly. But that's not actually recognized. I was going to share a story. This is not the same question, but this spurred on a memory that I would like to share because it's really funny. So Jonas and I went to a Spurs game for his birthday, like in 2022, I think. And I heard second tour, I'm tweeting it. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, no, just like, give me a second. No, so we went to the Spurs game and all night people had been coming up to us and we were sitting courtside, which is an insane experience if you've ever had it or been like close to it physically, like geographically in a room. And you're like, it's like, do I need to have a jersey? Am I sitting on I guess, is coach gonna like call me in, and just be like, Elyse, you're on the part with the ball. You're gonna have the ball next. I don't know basketball. I almost said baseball. That's how little I know basketball is. I almost said baseball. Sending you love from New Jersey. Oh my God, I love New Jersey. And so we were sitting there, people were coming and like saying hi, but like in that section, you couldn't get into the section without like having a courtside ticket. And so it was kind of like during the breaks of the games, I would like go out because I didn't want to not be able to say hi to people. So I would get out and then go onto the stairs and then we could take pictures. Well, this kid up at the top had sent his hat down. Oh my God. But I didn't see who it was. I had just, and for context, I had been given a few things to sign at that point. And so in my mind, I was kind of just in the process of like, hello from the UK. Oh my gosh, the UK. Wow, everyone's here. I had been given a few things to sign. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I was given one more thing and a Sharpie, and I signed the hat and I send it back. And I look at this kid who's like running down to like stop me from signing this hat. And he wanted me to pass it to the player like behind me. And I just like ruined this child's hat. And I was like, do I have a hat? Can I give him a hat back? Like, what can I do? That was a moment I think I will never forget. So that wasn't one of the first times, but it was a time. And yeah. My smoke show of a husband asked, if your book were a meal, what would it be? Which is such a good question. That's a really good question. Okay. This is a third beverage, which is a good beverage. If it were to be a meal, gosh, that's a really good question. My first thought is, from GA, oh, hi, is GA, Georgia, I believe. Bowl of ramen? Ooh, I like that. I feel like Jonas would like it to be a hot dog. Okay. Well, my answer is going to be, so for Thanksgiving, I don't like to do turkey and all of that because when I grew up, Thanksgiving was like really stressful. No one was like excited to be, well, let me go back. It's not, everyone was excited. It was a stressful day. It usually is. And people that are cooking all day, it's like this meal you spend all day making and then you eat it for like 15 minutes, right? And so we've created this like family tradition where on Thanksgiving we grill up a steak, and then I make my favorite green beans, which are green beans, onions, and bacon. We've been making that since I was little, and my mouth is like watering just thinking about it. So many people are ordering this book. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. This is so amazing. And yes, if you are watching on Facebook, comment the word shop and it will DM you a link to shop. And if you are on TalkShopLive, click the shop button. I need to say that. And so I'm going to be interjecting that into my stories. Sorry. And so, yeah, so I do the green beans with bacon and onion. And then I make like mashed potatoes with like an entire 2 pounds of butter, and it's amazing. So I think I would say it's going to be that, because you're going to be fed. You know what I mean? This book is going to feed you. Is that weird to say? No, I like it. You're going to be like nourished. You're going to walk away being like, wow, that was a meal. I feel like I could go deeper into that, but that's a lot. Okay. I know, guys, there's, okay. Will you be writing another book in the future? I have already started. I'm actually, you ate with that answer. I've already started writing another book, actually. But this is about this book, so I will not go down that rabbit hole right now. Will you be doing book reviews again? Yes. Right now, life has just been so crazy. So I basically just get to my office and I feel like I'm already behind. And so I miss like having the time and space to just make silly, fun things and sit in front of my camera and like talk about my books. I also, the reason I hadn't made them for a while is I kind of went into like a reading slump as well. I got like, when you pick, it's all coming together now. Yes. When you pick a few really bad books, not bad, but like books that aren't exciting in a row, like 3 or 4, you just get like 25% of the way into it and you're not excited to pick it up. You want to finish it first of all, and you want to know what happens because you're curious, but not so curious that you're like begging for a meeting to end, and so that you can like go to the next room and like read your book, or like you're not stuffing the book in your purse because you're like at like a girls' night at a bar. Like, I don't know, maybe someone's going to be 5 minutes late and I can sit on a park bench and read the book. I felt that like slump for like a bunch of books in a row, as well as, and I don't know if you're this way, and let me know what your like gauge is, but when my mental health takes a dip, or when I feel like I'm burnt out or in the red, or just, and in like a busy season, the first thing to go for me is the things I love the most, because I feel like I love things so hard that it's too much to love them. Like I don't like anything. I either hate it or I love it. There's like no in between. And that's just how I've been my entire life. And so when I get tired and I feel like you're just in that season where you're like, it's just go. I'm in a season of like work and like running forward. All of my favorite things that I should be prioritizing and loving and taking time with and like forcing into my schedule because that keeps you well. Like those just fall immediately. Like the first thing, they're like, that's like when you're in, fight or flight mode and your brain's like, sorry, I just went into like never mind. I was going to go into a different topic, but yes. So you're in like fight or flight. You just do the essentials, right? Like I need to feed myself and sleep, and that's basically it. So I just stopped reading and I'm getting right back into it with a book called None of This Is True. I think by Lisa Jewell is the author's name. And which I don't know if I should be talking about another author, but I'm going to because this is my live stream. Lisa Jewell. Yeah. None of This Is True. I got to say I'm 75% of the way through. And so I'm recommending it now, but I've not finished it. It has been a wild ride. And I think I'm about to hit a turn and get a twist that I didn't expect. So, and also last thing I'll say about this, I promise, but I read Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough, first thriller I ever read, accidentally read my favorite thriller I'll ever probably read in my life. And when I read that, people were like, if you like this book, read this book. It was the one I'm reading now. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. So if you liked Behind Her Eyes, I would do this. Someone gave me a compliment and I want to read it. You are so pretty. Oh my God, Sydney R. Thank you so much. And okay, Kat, I've seen this a couple of times now. Kat, Zoe. I have ADHD, autism. I've started writing a book and I've been writing this since 7th grade. And I've only just now got the character list and the prologue done and a paragraph in the first chapter. And I'm in 9th grade now. Kat, I started writing this book when I was in around the 7th grade, where I was a little younger, but not, it's all the same. We're in that frame. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh. It's such a process. And honestly, the first book that you write is like, oh my gosh, Kat, I wish you were right here in front of me. I love this. The first book that you write, you're going to write it probably like 7 times, like 10 times, 20 times. You will write it. And then when you get to a part where you feel like you have figured it out, you will have to then, as and you're probably doing a million times over, you'll go backwards and then rewrite things that now don't make sense in context of the thing that you found that you loved. And like character lists, I would say I do what's called creating a book Bible. I think I got this from another author, but what I really got it from was The Office. So The Office has a show Bible, which is like any fact that you needed to know about a character that you wrote, you then, that you don't want to like undo and like contradict, you write that into the show Bible, or sorry, the book Bible. So you have like a different document for each character. I use like Google Docs, and it's really great for show Bibles because you can hyperlink different things to different people. So I would pick like, you can pick, I make like different sections for the different characters. So if it's like a romance novel or whatever it is, like the female main character and then like the male main character or whoever your characters are, I have like a section for them and how they're all related, and then a section for the other characters and how they're all related. And then anything you write, like if, this person works here, you write it there. And then you're like, well, while I'm here, do I need to build out their job? Like where do they work? And so you just create accidentally this like web and this blueprint for these worlds that exist. And as you fill in the show Bible, it will show you the things you still need to fill in. And so I would recommend keeping something like that is searchable and like linkable within each other so that you can keep yourself organized, because that's going to keep you from feeling like you are like, wait, so how old did I say they were? Like, what's their favorite color? Because not that that's like the most important thing, but I think keeping that continuity honestly helps you see the things that you don't know about the person by having on a piece of paper, like the things that you do. Hi, Rose. Hi, Marianne. So that's my thing right now. I am just so excited for you. I think her name was Kat, right? I want to scroll up really quick because it's important to me. Kat, you're 9th grade and you're already writing a book. Kat, yeah, Kat. I'm so proud of you. Go Spurs, go. Yes. I just love that so much. And I'm so proud of you. And please keep writing. Don't stop writing it. And one day when you finish your book, you're going to be able to dedicate it to yourself and be like, I started this in 7th grade. Go Kat. I love that. And by the way, if you're on Facebook, you can comment shop in the comments and you will get a direct message on how to buy a signed copy of my book. And if you're on TalkShopLive, you can click shop and it will send you the information on how to do that. So, let me keep asking. Will you be doing a book tour? Yes, I will. I think the only show that has tickets right now that's still available is Austin, and then stand by on other times and dates. Was there a part of the book that was difficult to write? And if so, why? That's a good question. Thank you, Melissa. You just bought a copy? Oh my gosh. And Samantha and Holly and Brianna and Michael and Jenny and Tara. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Was there a book that was I don't know if this answer is going to be the answer that you're expecting, but I think the hardest part to write was the stuff that the stories about Jonas, because every other person that I've written about or experiences that I had in the book are either not a part of my life anymore or are loosely in my life, but like really far away relationally. Jonas is the only person in my life that is still here. Do you know what I mean? Like he will be reading about himself in this book. And I think that made me so nervous because it's my, greatest joy and honor to like write about him in our story. And like I wanted to do it justice because it's still happening and it's still here and he's going to be reading himself. You know what I mean? Like I'd have to go home and be like, I wrote this today. Like, I hope you like it. I hope it's accurate. Because one of my greatest fears when writing this book was that I somehow intentionally was lying. And there's like in the beginning of the book, it's like a note from author or disclaimer, and I'll show you. I made it art, but it's basically saying like some, to protect people's identities and I've changed some names or dates so that it's like not an identifying piece of information. So you can actually tell who someone is. or I've made like composites of a couple people to protect people's identities, but the stories are like as true as I can possibly remember them, you know? But my greatest fear was intentionally like lying. And that's scary. Everybody remembers their life differently, and stories, and they're not all like just life stories about me. Like some of them are like not parable, that's like biblical, but like, you know, allegories and like things like that. Fictional stories based on real life events that are meant to tell a story. So it's not memoir, but there are stories about people that will read them and they will be like, that's me, you know? And so, it's really nerve wracking to write those and be like, how do I get this as honest as I possibly can? And in that, honoring like myself and my experience in it, and not shying away from how it made me feel. Because like, if I were to read those straight to their faces, like, would I read it the same? Would I say the same things? Like, I wanted it to be as honest as I could make it, you know? And so when writing Jonas and I's stories or any story about him, it was like it's the only person that I will ever read a story that I wrote about straight to their face. Like every night. Like, and I would do it every night. I would go home and just read. So it was like pretty crazy. And so it was nerve-wracking. But it's also the greatest high of high, you know, because you're like, it's just you're getting to like make a little canon of your life and a time capsule and honor all of the things that have happened. And I get to give this to my sons. Like when I was tracking the audiobook, there's the part at the end where I do the gratitudes. And I called it gratitudes because it was like a lot of the times there's like acknowledgments in a book. And I won't lie to you, it's very rare I would ever read an acknowledgement section of a book. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just most of them are pretty dry. And I was like, if I'm thanking people, I want it to feel like an actual, like handwritten, like letter to them. You did so great. Proud of you. Thank you. And I wanted it to feel like a letter because I wouldn't make a letter that I write personally to someone like dry. And I would have all of myself in it and all of my heart and all of my love. And so when I wrote the gratitudes, I was like, I'm just going to make these little mini letters. And I wrote one to August and Oliver, and I went to go try and track it when I did the audiobook. And I just like, I could not, like, I just got footage of the day that I tracked it, or I mean, one of the days. It was over the course of an entire week, but the last day is we saved all of the emotional bits for the end. And I tracked it to August and Oliver, and I was like, I never, ever, ever want you to question like how much we love you, like me and Jonas. And like this, all of these stories like led us to you. And so it's like the end of this book is like the beginning of them. And so, yeah, I think that a really long answer, but like, oh, do we have spam? Sorry. A really long answer to say, I think that the stories that were the hardest to write were the ones that mean the most to me. And those are the stories about my family. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, that's great. Let's see. Is it unreasonable to purchase more than one copy of the book? To be honest, no, not at all. I know so many people that are purchasing the physical copy for the illustrations and the art and then the audiobook, which can I just tell you right now, the audiobook is so cool. But anyways, okay. That's a separate conversation. Is it at Barnes and Noble? Yes, it's going to be at Barnes and Noble. Oh, sorry. That I don't know if I can say that here, but yes. I need to get back to, I'm so bad at this. What was my favorite part to write about? I would say, oh, and then another question. Oh, these are good. You guys asked really good questions. Oh my gosh. My favorite thing to write, like when I think favorite, I think of like what was like the most fun I had to write was probably there's like a few, I think they're like technically poems, I think is how they would be classified, but they're like shorter, like a couple pages. There's some illustrations going through it. Like, let me show you one of them. Like, okay, I'm just gonna show you really quick. That's not a poem. Let me do this. Which one do I show you? I keep thinking I have to like ask people permission to show you things, but I'm like, I wrote it, so I think it's fine. So a lot of the poems were shorter, so I wanted to like make them visually really like pretty. And so like things like this, like, let me cover the actual like text. It doesn't really matter. But like, this is like my closet in Australia. And I really enjoyed like having the images, the words and the images are like playing with each other. So it's like, it's not just like written words and then on a separate page, there's like an illustration that is like a kid's book where it's like, you know, complimenting what's written. Very Ron Swanson of you, yes. But a lot of like the poems, the images and the words will be like interacting with each other. And so, yeah, I think that is probably my favorite. That was the most fun I had. That, and then the ones that were not straightforward like narrative, that were just like allegories. Is that the right word when you say that? Like if it was like biblical, it'd be like a parable, but that's not that word. What is the word I'm looking for? Allegory? Allegory definition. Yeah. Story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political. Yeah. So I liked writing those because I realized for the very first time, like, oh, fiction is so fun because you don't have to get it perfectly right. And so those were like probably really fun to write. But if you are the person who's written about, you're like, yep, that happened. but you can disguise it in fiction. It's great. Okay. Next question was really fun. It was, what chapter do you think we should all read? I immediately have the answer for you. That's a great question. I would love to tell you. 7. It is the second. It's the second story in the book. The first story is incredible, obviously. All of them. I'm very partial. I like all of them. I think you should read all of them. But 7 is, I don't know why it's so special to me, but it was like one of the first stories I read where I realized that this was kind of going to be different, right? And I didn't write them in order as what they are like. She did it. She said the title. It's like the movies. Sorry, it's not. So sorry, it's not chapter 7. It's the story called 7. So which is confusing. It's the second story in the book, though. On page. Let me show you. On page. Oh, the visuals are so good too. On page 25 of the hard copy. Looks like this. So it's a story about, I'll give you kind of a quick general overview, but essentially I'm just playing 7 Minutes in Heaven with a friend in a closet. And it's obviously not going how you would imagine 7 Minutes in Heaven would go with somebody. And it's really endearing and it's really sweet. And it is like visually so beautiful. The words play with the text or the structure and the layout. And it's, yeah, when I did the library, the librarian in Philadelphia, when was that? It was the librarian conference. Like, I think it's ALA or something like that. That was what I performed on stage. And it was really special because it was the first time I like read my writing to a room, and I got like real-time feedback in a crowd. And everything that I like wanted people to laugh at because I laughed at when I wrote it, they laughed. And I was just like, I did it. Because you just don't understand, like, when you are writing this in a vacuum by yourself in like a dark room on the floor, you don't know. You have no idea. And most of the time you're not going to get like a live reaction of someone reading a book that you wrote, like unless you're reading it to them, which is why I'm like, I want to do readings everywhere. I just, and so that was like this moment where I was like, oh my gosh, like what I wanted to make happen happened, which is such a form of magic I can't even explain to you. Like that's basically as close to having superpowers as I could possibly have, is a feeling I felt in my brain and in my body. And in the moment I had it, which was like 20 years ago when it was happening, I recalled it, felt it here, wrote it down in words, and then someone reads it and I'm giving them the same feeling. I mean, that's got to be as close to magic as I could possibly be as just a normal mortal human being, right? I don't know. I just think that the power of like reading and being able to communicate without ever meeting a person on like a paper is just so crazy. Okay, great. Sorry, let me just start crying right now. Someone asked, I like this question. What is your creative wine? I need to know. My husband makes the best wine and I'd love to send you a bottle. Ashley T. Creative wine? That is a great question because that comes from somebody I think that likes wine, because not all wine is created equal. If I'm going to be creative, I don't think it's wine. But that's not the question. With wine, white wine is I'm like chilling, right? I'm like, it's like a Caesar salad, French fry by a pool, relaxing. Red wine makes me feel things that are, excitable in a adult way. And then I think if I'm going to be creative, it's going to be like a vodka soda, which is like, I don't think that was your answer, but wine in general, I would say probably more of a white, like a Pinot Grigio. I don't know though, because I like reading with red and it makes me cry a little bit, and that can tap me into my feels. But I'd say a vodka soda would be what I would drink if I was like being creative. But I will gladly accept any wine that your husband makes. My brother started making wine for a little bit. And do I have a booger? No, I thought I felt like I had a booger. Anyways, if I have a booger, you have full permission to tell me that. Also, if I have anything in my teeth, please tell me. And he started making his own wine and it was so easy. It was almost crazy and a little scary how easy it was. And it was really good. He made this like cranberry grape wine. It was very yummy. Anyways, that's beside the point. Kyle, we should make more wine together. How did you start writing the book? I want to write a book, but do I get a pen and paper and go? It makes me feel things. Sorry. I'm like, where are we at with the rating of this live stream right now? Oh yeah, sorry. Someone just said Moscato. That's another thing. I don't like sweet things. I'm not a sweet drinker, or I like dessert. I'm a huge like chocolate person and all that. But I don't, when I'm drinking things, I like it to be like my coffee. Like I like my coffee to be really bitter. So when I'm drinking a white, I like it to I call it the squirties. It's like, it's so dry. It's like, it makes like the back of your mouth like water. And I like red to be like when a dark chocolate that's like 95% dark, you take a bite of it and it like dries up your mouth. That is exactly what I want when I drink a red, but not like peppery. Anyways, we should have like another one of these, but just talk about wine. I'm supposed to be selling my book right now. If you're on Facebook, comment shop and you'll get a direct message on how to buy this book. If you're on TalkShopLive, you can click the shop button. The squirties. I can't believe I just said that. Anyways, where was I with this? Oh, how did I start? Okay. That actually is a very good question. I would love to tell you. That's a great question. I would love to tell you. So if you're wanting to start a book, the thing is, oftentimes everything you write is going to be wrong until it's right, which doesn't sound helpful at all. But it is. You just sit down and you start writing. So the first thing I say in like all of the documents that I write my books in, and I'm going to keep going on this, but someone said your hair is goals, and I want to clarify, it's fake. Would you like to see? Someone sewed it in. You probably can't see because she's good at her job, but I just don't want anyone thinking I grew this with my body, because I didn't. Someone chopped my hair off, and it traumatized me a little bit. So I had someone sew fake hair in. So thank you. You too can have hair just like this if you go to Jen in New Jersey. But yes, when I write, I will literally on the top of the paper be like, this is the best thing I will ever write in my life, and a few other things that I'm feeling at the moment. And it's like a sentence I will delete at the end. But I always start with like really hyping myself up. And so that's how I start writing. Like I will write absolute nonsense, and I know I will delete it. And then I will write things I want to write. Like if you can't think of anything, I will write how I felt about my dinner last night. And then when I find a cool sentence I wrote, like the way that I described the sauce and the pasta I ate last night, I'm like, ooh, that word is really cool. And then I'm like, ooh, that word feels like the color red. And I'm like, red. And then you just kind of go for it. And then you find a tie somewhere in it. And then you start writing your story. I don't know if that is actually helpful to you, but this is so honest. That's my writing process. So I've said any hoops, Cherie. I've said it a few times. Any hoops. Sorry, I keep messing with this camera. Be still. So yeah, I just do a lot of free word association essentially in my writing until I find something I like. I will say, if you're a writer, I think you should read the book Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. It has taught me so much about my writing process, helped me understand myself as a writer and a creative. And it's very simple. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it's very simple the way that she makes it feel. So it's extensions, but we know what long hair Elyse means. Thank you. Yeah, so Bird by Bird. Can I put this in here? I can't pin it. Bird by Bird. Anne Lamott, I believe is her name. There you go. So yes, that is my answer for you. Okay, a few others, and then we do have to wrap it up. But can I don't know if people are still on here that saw at the beginning, but I am really excited about this. So this is like the little nameplate that comes with the book. And I take this little thing, I sign it. And then it gets put in here if you do buy the signed copy, and you're like, what does that actually mean? Because she's not signing books right now. So I signed a bunch right before the tour. But now for this, I get to like do a separate little thing. So I get to sign like 4,000 of these bad boys. And then they put the nameplate this in the book. So this is what it'll look like if you buy one of the pre-signed copies on this live stream. It's really cool. To be honest, I'm like really excited about these little stickers that go in. It says, that's the right question I'd love to tell you. By the way, it's my handwriting. I think that's awesome. I made like a font with my name in it. I made a font out of my handwriting so that when the Kindle version came out, you could like still get my handwriting in it for like things that are like in the book. And it's like infinitely scalable, because a lot of things that are art, you can't like scale it for Kindle. So then it just gets lost and put in normal text. But it was really important to me that like the Kindle version be very similar to the physical copy of it. I want all of these to be an experience. I'm just telling you right now. Sway said fonts are so rad. They are, right? I don't know if you have any experience, anybody on here has any experience making fonts, but it is really fun and also a little hard if you're obsessive. I'm extremely obsessive. So I wanted it to be right. And there's these things. Can I go on like a tiny, tiny little tangent about fonts really quick, especially with handwriting? And I will go wrap this up soon, I promise. But so in handwriting, there's these things called ligatures, where, you know, when you're writing and you connect two letters every single time you connect those two letters, but you wouldn't if you were writing like a T. Like for me, it's like a T and an H. I always connect the T and the H together. Or if I'm doing an H and an A, I'm always connecting the H and the A, but an H next to it, like a CH. Well, that's another one actually, a ligature, a CH. I always connect them. And I naturally connect things because I'm used to writing in cursive, but I wanted it to look not like a system font, because you know how you can tell it's like, yeah, that's handwriting, but everything looks the same all the time. So I wanted to make sure I got all those ligatures in there. And so it's really cool. Like I spent a lot of time doing that. And I would just for days, like there's a little preview window on the font when you're making a font. There's like the preview text window where you can make sure it's going as well as you hope it is when you're making all these letters. And so, Susan, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Victoria, thank you. When I was writing, I would write out a phrase like, I think I wrote like, what is happening over and over and over again, because that was, I don't know why, that was like the best way for me to figure out my font. And the closer and closer it would get to my journals handwriting, I was like, I'm doing it. And so then I would just start like sending people screen recordings of my computer that work with me. And they're like, Elyse is supposed to be writing the book, but I'm just like sending them like videos of me just typing like, hi, this is Elyse. Hope you're doing good. And it was a lot, but that took over weeks of my life. And so if you do end up reading this on Kindle, separate to this, also buy this. But if you end up reading on Kindle, just know I worked very, very hard to give you a very similar experience than what everyone else will be, compared to what everyone else will be reading or listening to and all of that. All of them have such wonderful touches of me in them because I wanted it to feel that way. I wasn't okay with anything less than that. And so I fought really hard to make all that happen. So just so you know, this has been a labor of love in every one of the fronts. Elyse Myers' new book, not only great, also incredible fonts. I'm taking a screenshot of this way. Wait, done. Oh my God. It's just me putting that on like the back of the book. Sorry. I love you guys so much. I'm going to answer a few more questions and then I will get going. But gosh, this has been so cool. Let me go out and then I can see more of them. So I'm gonna do a few from these live streams. Let me scroll back. I wish you could see my triplets right now singing in the bath. Are these triplets? Oh my gosh. Someone said, will it be on Audible as well? Yes, it will be. I read my own audiobook. So you are in for a treat if you hear the audio version of it. Let's see, will this video be available after it ends? Yes, it will be. I believe it will download and you can watch the whole thing from start to finish. To be honest, I'm going to be curious to watch it back. I feel like I'm going to cringe. No, that's actually a lie. I don't know why I said that. Well, I will. No, it's not a lie that I said that, but I shouldn't have said that out loud. My brain didn't need to hear that. Just run it back. When I watch this back, I will be very proud that I did it. There we go. Oh, there was a filter. That's right. I can do questions. What program did you use for the font? I should have looked it up. It was what program fonts? It was what was it? Font Lab. That's what it was. Font Lab. There we go. Do you, you're such a great storyteller of your own experiences. Do you read memoirs often? Do you have a favorite? I don't want to lie. I don't think I've ever read another memoir. Well, this isn't a memoir, but I don't think I've ever read a memoir. If anyone has any suggestions on memoirs, I would love them. Please tell me your favorite. I'm trying to think, am I lying right now? I don't think so. No. And if you're just catching this right now, you can comment shop on Facebook and you will get a direct message on how to buy a signed copy of my book. Or if you're on TalkShopLive, you can click the little shop button. Okay. We have about 5 minutes left and then I'm going to go eat dinner with my family. But I'm going to answer a few more questions. Why is your book not a memoir? It's a great question. It is a memoir. I would clarify, or I would explain as like a really straightforward, this is a chronological story of my life. So with a memoir, you're going to be getting a lot of everything. You're going to be getting like from birth till now kind of a situation. And I didn't want to write that because I don't think that's interesting about my life. And also that didn't follow kind of what I had in mind for this book. So essentially what this book is a combination of like some narrative stories. I mean, all of it's like either true or based on a true story of my life, but it's like short stories, like collections of little like moments and like pictures. It's like someone gave you a photo album with no context and was just like, flip through. I hope you love it. They're beautiful images. And I hope you learn about me in the process. But like a memoir, I would say is a little bit more straightforward. And when I was going through the process of trying to like sell this book in right at the beginning, a lot of publishers wanted me to write like a straightforward memoir because those are a lot easier to conceptualize and understand and sell probably, and a lot cheaper to make. I was like, that's okay. I really want to do this. This is like what I had in mind. And so I fought really hard, and I found a publisher in HarperCollins and William Morrow that believed in me and wanted to let me do what I had in mind. And now here it is. It's here. So you'll be able to find, by the way, Jennifer, the audiobook on Audible. And so, yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a straightforward memoir. It's kind of like a photo album, or not a photo album in terms of like, it's just images. I wrote a book, I promise. There's book in there. But it's like I guess like the book version of a modern art museum. If you like, that's kind of more what it is. Anyways, I don't know if that was more confusing than helpful, but let's see a few other ones and then we'll get going. As far as what you picked to write, do you feel like any of the stories were core memories or moments? What would your islands be like inside out? I don't know what the islands thing means, but as far as what you picked to write, do you feel like any stories were core memories? I mean, I think all of them technically, in weird ways. Like what's funny is, and okay, so in the back of the book, it says extraordinary moments are hiding in plain sight. And then really small asterisk, I wrote, in this context, plain sight is referring to a debut collection of short stories, poems, illustrations, and oddly specific memories. And within that oddly specific memories, it is a lot of times when we hear core memory, we think big, like wedding day, losing your first person, like experiencing like death for the first time in your life, like winning prom queen, or like things like that. But honestly, a lot of the core memories I write about are not those. Like they are memories that just were burned into the inside of my brain and like soul and body and like eyeballs forever, because they made such an impact on me, but didn't seem big to anybody else. And I think as a neurodivergent person, that's a lot of my core memories of like, why is this so hard for me and nobody else? Or like, why is this so impactful to me, but everyone around me seems really calm about this? So, or feeling like you're too much or not enough and everything in between at the same time somehow. And so yeah, I think all of these are really core memories. And I think that it like reading through this book, it gives you permission to be as much and as little as you want to be in every moment that you experience that you love and you want to remember forever. And I think that that was one of the greatest joys of writing this book. And I'll wrap it up after this, but I got to give a younger version of myself permission to have felt all the things that she felt, and to have loved and hated and remembered all of the things that she did. And I think as an adult, it was incredibly validating and very healing to get to re-experience all of these things with the healed brain I have now, not healed, but healthier version of myself, and I got to like love the version of myself that experienced it then, but now, and honor her by not what is the word? I could have easily taken me in these stories and made it look good and polished and cute and like perfect and the person I wanted to be and people wanted me to be when those memories were happening, and I didn't. And I think that was the most powerful thing in this book, was like feeling the pressure of cleaning myself up and sanding away all of the loose edges and saying, no, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I think that was really, really powerful for me. And so I think that was I don't know how I got there, but writing this has been one of the greatest joys of my life, and sharing it with you is just about right up there. And I hope you love it. And I think it's a good place to stop because I'm tired and hungry and I'm crying now. So that's good. But I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for spending time with me. And if you haven't bought a signed copy of the book, please do so now. I would love that. I would love to sign your book for you. I'm here signing them tonight and for the next few weeks, probably. And if you're coming to my tour, I cannot wait to see you. And stay tuned for more updates on tour because I have more things coming that way. So yes. Okay. Love you guys so much. And I will see you soon-ish. Okay. Bye.